Welcome dear students in the elective course of your 5th semester BSc Agriculture DT program, Elect Agron 311 Agricultural Waste Management. Unit 3 is continue and this is the 8th lecture of Unit 3rd Agricultural Waste to Equity. Actually, if you go through the syllabus, this topic is not mentioned in Unit 3 and a topic is also mentioned in Unit 4, that is waste management machineries. In this lecture we will discuss about the machineries also, so you can connect this topic with the machinery of Unit 4th also. Basically, why I am covering this topic here, instead it is not mentioned to discuss in detail, because waste is managed, agricultural waste, how it is produced, that has been discussed. If it is not managed properly, it will create several problems that has already been discussed. If we want to manage it properly, few known common options we have already discussed, because as a student of agriculture you people also know that this agricultural waste can be converted into compost. Very good, it can be converted into compost, no problem. There are several other ways of agricultural waste management. Compost, vermicompost, that has been discussed. Biogas, in addition, biogas with additional benefit of digested bioslurry. Digested bioslurry is the agricultural or organic manure, and biogas is the agricultural fuel, that has been also discussed. And if we are talking about biofuels, one type is biogas, another type is ethanol is being produced from the agricultural waste, and ethanol does not have the agricultural use. Ethanol is used in industry, or ethanol is used with petroleum products for energy generation as a fuel. This agricultural waste can also be converted into briquette, and this briquette has the importance, or briquette has the use in industries. So again, it is non-agricultural use, but briquette is a type of fuel. Here we can say biofuel, or we cannot say, because biofuel generated through the biological process where the microbes act over it. In briquetting there is no role of microbes. Even we need not to put it into a cycle of processing through chemical and biological methods. We just need to collect it and convert it into briquette by physical process. So this is a physical processing. So briquetting is a process which can be used to produce briquette from agricultural waste. It takes very less time, it can be done very quickly, while this chemical and biological process, the conversion of agricultural waste to the biofuel, it takes time and it takes some, because it is a chemical and biological process. So whatever the time is required by the biological system, that you will have to wait up to that time. As we are discussing the use of agricultural waste or the management of agricultural waste by different ways, briquetting is one way, so it needs to be discussed. So in this lecture, the following contents will be discussed, that is briquette and briquetting. So briquette is an end product which we obtain by the process of briquetting. So these things will be discussed. So briquette and briquetting, you should be clear about these two terminologies, though it looks like same, but it has a difference. Different types of briquettes will also be discussed. I will introduce you with the different types of briquettes. The common material which is used for briquetting, mainly the agricultural waste, which type of agricultural waste is being used for briquetting. use and benefit of briquettes. Process of briquetting. So briquetting, as I am telling you, is a process. So what type of process it is, what are the steps involved in this process, this process will be discussed. And as I told you, this is not the chemical and biological conversion of agricultural waste to the briquette. It is just a physical conversion. So some machines are required for it. So the machine is known as briquetting machine. So which type of machine it is, that I will explain you. When we complete the process and finally we get the briquette, this briquette should be packaged and stored. Briquettes can be stored for a longer time. It should be packed properly so that it will retain its quality. So how it is being packed and what are the benefit of its packing. And briquette density, it is one property which defines the quality of briquettes. Even if a briquette is made up from the different material, their density will be different. Even if the briquette will be made from a single material through the different type of process or through the different type of machines, the density will be the different. So what is the impact of briquette density on its quality or on its use, that will also be discussed here. Even if you remember the introductory lecture where I explained that agricultural waste can be used or agricultural waste can be managed by this and this way. Briquetting was the one way. And I told you the agricultural waste which is good for burning, for example dry agricultural waste which farmers used to burn, that is the improper management, and which farmers used to burn, it has a several harmful impact on soil, harmful impact on the environment, and even other harmful impact on the human health also. So burning is not a good process. Burning is not a desirable or a correct process of agricultural waste management. It is burning means just to get rid of agricultural waste by either way. You just want to get rid of agricultural waste so that you can do agriculture in next season. So burning is a faulty method. Briquetting, because you burn that agricultural waste because it is suitable or it is good in burning. It is a dry agricultural waste and it can catch fire very quickly. That's why you burn it. You just convert this agricultural waste into briquette. Again, briquette will be used for burning, but here the burning for the useful purpose. So if you burn your briquette or if you burn your agricultural waste for the useful purpose, definitely it is a good management. So what is briquette? Briquette is a compressed block of combustible biomass material. So briquette made up from biomass. You know, biomass is the agricultural waste. Briquette is a block. So you just collect the biomass or you just collect the agricultural waste which is combustible. That's why I am saying it is very good in burning. You compress it and make a block. So and that block is known as briquette. So this block can be made up from charcoal. This block can be made up from sawdust, wood chips, peat. Even the briquette can be prepared from the paper also. And this briquette is used for fuel and kindling to start a fire. So the term briquette, it is derived from a French word. This French word is brick. The English word is brick. This brick, our soil brick which we use to prepare our houses, this soil brick in Hindi we used to say eat. This brick, eat, this brick in French it is known as brick. So this brick is prepared from the biomass that is called as briquette. So it is derived from the French word. So briquette is the block. Here you are seeing in the photograph some compressed block of biomass, or the biomass which is derived from the, or which is obtained from the agricultural waste. The compressed blocks are, this is charcoal. The compressed block is clearly seen in the pictures. So this block is known as briquette. Just compressing it and converting it into the block, the process is known as briquetting. So briquette is the end product in which we manage our agricultural waste by compressing it and making it block. The process in which we collect agricultural waste and convert it into the block, the process is called as briquetting. So briquette is the end product of briquetting process. So briquetting is a process. Here agricultural waste is converted into uniformly shaped briquettes that are easy to use, easy to transport and easy to store. See, you want to burn something for the useful purpose. Definitely agricultural waste can give you this burning material. So this material you can burn it, but you cannot collect all the rice straw, or you cannot collect all the sugarcane trash and transport it, store it for a long time and then you can burn it. So it is always better you convert it into a compressed block, or you convert it into the briquette. Now it is very easy to transport it and to use it, to store it. So this briquetting is a compressed block of biomass. Coal is also one thing. Coal is a type of stone which is extracted from, or which is dug out from the mines, from the coal mines. So it is a type of stone, but some dust material also is being collected from the mines. So the coal is also compressed and converted into the blocks of the briquette. So this is a coal briquette. Even in the old, if you remember, in older days in the village, the ladies used to burn this coal briquette to cook the food. So this is a coal briquette. This is sawdust briquette. Sawdust, actually it is in Hindi it is known as lakdi ka burada. So sawdust means in the workshop where wooden work is carried out, or where the saw is working just to cut the woods and some wooden works is being carried out. In the cutting of the wood by saw, dust is the byproduct. So this dust is collected. So this dust, again, in the older days when this LPG gas was not available in all the houses, in village ladies used to burn this sawdust, lakdi ka burada, to cook their foods. So this sawdust can also be converted into briquettes. So in the second picture, this is the briquette of sawdust, and in the third picture, this is the briquette of rice straw. Rice straw is a very huge amount of waste generating material, and its management, though the technologies are available, but it is not being adopted on a larger scale, and on the larger scale it is being burnt to create the pollution. So this rice straw or the sugarcane trash can be converted into briquette. So this is the third picture, is the briquette of rice straw. I told you this any biomass can be converted into the briquette. So this is sawdust briquette. This is wood shaving and sawdust mixture. Even in this wooden industry, where in the workshop where wooden work is being done, sawdust is a one byproduct, but some chips, wood chips and wood shaving, some thick material of wood is also collected as a byproduct. So this sawdust can be mixed with the thick material of woods, and this mixture can be converted into a briquette. This is shredded straw briquette. Even this paper can also be converted into briquette. This is MDF briquette. MDF means medium density fiber board. Again, this MDF, medium density fiber board, the material, the byproduct material which is obtained from the fiber board industry, that material can be converted into briquette. This is pine briquette. Pine is a tree, and pine is a good timber tree basically. So it provides timber wood. So when this timber wood is cut into the wooden workshop, pine briquette can also be manufactured. This mahogany is a plant which is used as a medicinal plant, and the waste material which is collected from the mahogany plant, it can be converted into the briquette. Cardboard briquette. So this cellulose material, गत्ता फैक्ट्री से जो जहाँ गत्ता बनता है, जैसे ऊपर पेपर की बात हुई, नीचे गत्ता की बात हो रही है, तो फ्रॉम द पेपर इंडस्ट्रीज वेयर द सेल्यूलोज material is converted into the paper and into a cardboard. So paper can also be, waste paper can also be converted into the briquette, and the waste cardboard जो गत्ते का टुकड़ा होता है, that can also be converted into the briquette. So there are different types of briquettes. These all the briquettes is the end product of briquetting process by using the waste material which is generated from the agricultural activity. This pine, paper, board, everything is comes from the biological mass product. Even wood also comes from the from the trees, and from the, it is a waste product of the tree. Straw is the waste product of our agricultural activities. So it can be converted into the briquette. So these are the common material which can be converted into the briquettes. Again, remember it, if we have discarded fruits, for example discarded tomato fruits, discarded mango fruits, these are the wet agricultural waste. This wet agricultural waste cannot be converted into the briquette. This wet agricultural waste, it can undergo for composting or for biogas production or for ethanol production. If it is having sugar, it can go for ethanol production. So the agricultural waste, where agricultural waste is generated as a in a dry form, for example rice straw, coconut husk, cotton stalk, corn stalk. So these are the agricultural waste. So these dry agricultural waste can be converted into the briquettes. So these are the, when we talk about the material which is suitable for the briquetting, you just think about the material which are dry in nature and can catch fire easily. So agricultural waste, cassava stalk, coconut frond, cotton stalk, corn stalk, straw millets, oat straw, ground palm oil, rice straw, rye straw, sorghum straw, soybean straw, sugar cane leaves, and wheat straw. This can be converted into the briquette. Industrial processing residue from agriculture. So again, this, for example, in first category I talk about rice straw. In second category we can talk about rice husk. So cotton seed hull, peanut shell, cobs and brab corn. For example, here corn stalk. Corn stalk, when you harvest the cob from the maize plant, the remaining part of the plant is corn stalk. But when you harvested the cob of maize from the plant, when you take it into the processing, this cob, even the kernel are extracted from the cob. Seed is known as kernel. So this kernel is extracted from the cob, and the remaining cob is the waste material for the processing agro-based industry. So sugarcane bagasse, it can also be converted into the briquette. Then forestry development. The leaves, branches, twisted trunks, the from the horticulture, our orchard, the pruned material which we take it out. Plantation and forestry, the pruned material, branches, stumps, roots that can be converted into the briquette. This forestry, there we have some tree, for example, we are talking about pine. It generates timber wood. Then timber wood goes to the wood industry, and sawdust is a waste from the wood industry. So this sawdust is a very good material for briquetting. Then some bioenergy crops like acacia, eucalyptus, pinus, platanus. These are some bioenergy crops which the waste material of these crops can also be converted into the briquettes. So these are the common material which can be converted into the briquettes. So it is very clear in your mind up to now that briquette and briquetting. And briquette is used as a fuel to burn. So wherever you need fire, you can use this briquette to burn. So briquette can be used as a fuel in several type of heat producing device, just to produce the heat if you want to burn it. Even in industry, furnace is to be burned for generating the heat. So for the burning in the furnace, you need some fuel. So most of the time, several industries they burn coal, but coal is a ore material. It is the ore property of our country. So coal should be used, but it should be used very precisely or very judiciously. So if we have the second alternate, that is if we can burn the briquette, just producing heat in the furnace or in the boiler or in the stove or in the thermal energy plant where coal is burnt and electricity is being generated. So every time to burn coal, if we have second alternate, that is briquette. Briquette is basically, if we don't use briquette, still we are generating agricultural waste. So it is better that agricultural waste should be converted into briquette and it should be burned. So it will save our coal property or our mining property. You know, coal is ore, khanij sampada जिसे बोलते हैं. So this is the property of our country. So it can be burned in stove, boiler and thermal energy plant in the furnace. The benefits of briquetting, that it can get rid of insect also, because this agricultural waste, if you will not manage it properly, so a lot of insect will be there. It decrease the volume of waste. What happens? What I told you earlier. Now we know that sugarcane trash should not be burned in the field, or rice straw should not be burned in the field. We know it. So now we know we can burn it into our furnace. So it is very impossible to collect the straw, rice straw from the field and store it in the factory and use it to burn in the furnace, because it has a very large volume. When we compress it and make it a compressed block, so the volume of the waste is reduced. Now it is very easy to transport, to handle, to store and to use it. So it decreases the total volume of the waste. It produces efficient solid fuel. So it has a high thermal value because it is compressed. So it is a solid fuel. It can burn for a longer time. So its thermal value is good. So it have low energy consumption for production, because waste is also already generating. We have to just compress it. So very low energy is required to produce this type of fuel. It also protects the environment. Even this briquetting, if some youth can go for the briquetting by collecting agricultural waste and do the briquetting and supply this briquette to the thermal plant. So it provides an opportunity also, and less risk hazard are there. So if we go for the briquetting, risk hazard is very less. So these are the use and benefit of the briquetting. So what is briquetting? I told you briquetting is a process where agricultural waste is converted into the compressed block of fuel that is known as briquette. So this is briquetting. So briquetting is a process which involves only 3 steps: milling, drying and pressing. That's why I told you, if we go for biogas production, it is a biological and biochemical process, so it will take time. If we go for bioethanol production, again it is biological and biochemical process. So bioethanol means the fermentation of sugar. Fermentation of sugar is being done by microbes. Then this microbes can change the biochemical properties of the sugar, and ultimately ethanol is being generated. So it will take time. But here briquetting is a physical process. You just mill it. Milling means you just mix it, grind it, converted it into the smaller pieces, then dry it, because if it has moisture, you can make briquette, but it will not burn. Because we are doing briquetting, we are producing briquette to burn in the furnace. So if we don't dry it, there is no use of briquetting. So the dry material can be used for the briquetting, and if it is not properly dried, drying is to be done. So this raw material or the waste material, first it is milled or grind, we can say, and then it is dried, and after this drying, this grinded dry product, which is high in volume because it is grinded, it is dried, it is a waste product, it has a larger volume. You just compress it, press it to form the briquette. Very simple 3-step physical process. So how this physical process is being operated? First, the agricultural waste is collected from the field. So when, for example, this is rice straw, sawdust, slurp, sunflower cake, or agro waste, whatever agro waste or agricultural waste. So first it is collected from the field. So this is not briquette basically. This is bales. You can say bales. For example, rice is harvested by the combine harvester. So seed is being taken out from the field. Rest, chaff or straw or the stubbles which are remaining in the field, that is agricultural waste. So machines are available which can cut the stubbles, which can collect and cut the straws and converted it into a block. So this is a block of straw. This is not a compressed block of heated or dried material. This is just a block of straw. So this is a block of rice straw which is known as bales. You cannot say it briquette. It is a bales. Bale or bales. Then this bales is taken out from the field. Then you take it into the briquetting plant. So briquetting plant, there are 3 processes. First you grind it. So there is a machine which can grind it. Then you take this grinded product to the, or this is milling also we can say. Milling is cutting the product into the smaller pieces. So this process is known as grinding. Then it is shifted to the taken to the drying plant. Hot air drying is being done, or you can go for the sun drying also. But sun drying, again it will take time. So hot air drying is taken, or hot air drying is being followed. Then this dry material is collected into a hopper or into a bin. Then from the bin, the waste is transferred to the briquetting machine. So briquetting machine is a machine operated by the motor, and the waste material, this dry and grinded product is fed to the machine. This machine will convert it into the compressed block. Then you can pack it and sell it and cash it to your money. This is the process of briquetting, where agricultural waste is collected in form of bales. The bales is taken into the grinding machine. From the grinding machine, the grinded product are taken to the dryer. In the dryer, the product is being dried, and the dried product is collected into a bin, that is silo bin. From the silo bin, where the dry and grinded waste is collected, the waste is fed to the briquetting machine. So this last machine is a biomass briquetting machine. So material is fed into the biomass briquetting machine. Then this machine is converted. The machine converts the biomass into the briquette. So how this machine will work? Machine here, from this silo bin, the dry and grinded product, that is, we can say this pre-treated product, we can also say. So this pre-treated product is fed into the briquetting machine. So there is a motor. This motor, electric run motor. When this motor is run, you can remember, even in ethanol production or in biogas production, the digested bioslurry has solid and liquid part. So I told you it is being separated either by screw press method or by belt press method. So here briquetting is done either by screw press or by piston press. So ultimately you have the dried and grinded waste. You just want to compress it and convert it into the block. So how you will compress it? So there is a screw press method. When you want to compress it, definitely you will press it. So this material which is being fed to the hopper, this screw, because there is a motor, the motor rotates and screw is being rotated. So this rotating screw will carry the or will convey the material from this direction to the, this is known as die basically, or mantle. So this heating mantle means there is a plate and there is a cylindrical space in this mantle. So this is known as die. Here it is known as die also. Dye doesn't mean it is a color. Dye is not a color. In engineering, this dye is a shaped material where the raw material can get the proper shape. इसको हिंदी में कह सकते हैं सांचा है. तो सांचे में अगर आएगा तो उसी का रूप और ढल जाएगा. तो दिस इज ए डाई और मेंटल which is heated. This is again heated by this machine also, which is electric run machine. So this mantle is heated and this waste is pushed by the screw into this mantle. Here the opening is lesser in diameter than the volume of the mantle. So when this screw will press the material into the mantle, because here is a pressure, because opening is very less, so this is converted into a compressed block and it is taken out from the machine. Then you can cut it into the desired size pieces. Now another type is, there is a piston. The piston is again connected with a motor, and this motor, it has a spring. So when it rotates, the motor rotates. In one rotation, this piston will go back, and when in half rotation, this piston will go back, and in another half rotation, this piston will come forward. So when the piston will go back, the hopper will insert the material into the die. When piston will come forward in another rotation or in another half part of the rotation, when piston will come forward, this piston will press the material which is received in the die, and it can compress it. And because here opening is less, so here lot of pressure is generated in the die, and the compressed material is pushed out from the die. So this is backward. You can cut it into the pieces. This way this machine will work, and we can repair our bracket. So we should talk about rice straw, because rice straw is a problem, and every year there is a lot of noise in news channels that Punjab and Haryana farmers are burning the rice straw. Even I told you in earlier lectures that the burning of agricultural waste is a problem not only in Punjab and Haryana, it is a problem in other part of the country also. Where cotton is a main crop, they burn the cotton straw. Where sugarcane is the main crop, they burn sugarcane trash. But burning of rice straw seeks lot of attention. So this is the first picture. Rice field has been harvested by the combine harvester. Then another machine will go into the field. All the rice straw is being collected, or stubble is being cut. It is collected into a machine, and the bales will be taken out. So this is not a rice bracket. This is rice bales. Then this machine will run throughout the field, through the whole field, and it collects the straw. And when the sufficient amount of straw is being collected, one bales is taken out from the machine. Again machine will go forward. So when this machine will cover the whole field, you will find that this rice bales are spread over the field at a certain distance. So you need to collect it. So you just need to collect all the rice bales, and then you transport these rice bales to the nearby, or you can just, a farmer can also install this rice straw briquetting machine. Now this is rice straw briquetting plant. Here again the plant straw is being fed. It is milled. After milling, it passes through the dryer. Then it is collected into, this is silo bin. So it is collected into the silo bin. From the silo bin, through a conveyor belt, it is fed to the briquetting machine, and in a briquetting machine, motor is run, and piston or screw, whatever it is pressing the material, and through this pipe the briquette will come out. So now you people may think that how this process is being carried out in India, in Punjab and Haryana. Basically, in a previous lecture, one student asked me that farmers are burning rice and straws, government is not restricting them. Yes, government is restricting them. So it is possible in India also. I am not showing you the picture of any foreign country. All three pictures are from Telangana. Telangana is also a good rice growing state. If you want this briquetting machine, this Rohan Agrotech Engineering Private Limited, this is a company of Rajkot, Gujarat. This company supplies this rice briquetting plant. Even this EcoStan is a company. EcoStan is a leading company in our supplier or in India. So it is also a rice briquetting machine supplied by EcoStan company. This Radhe Engineering Company, again it is from Rajkot, Gujarat. It is rice briquetting plant. Here my motto is not to advertise the companies of rice briquetting plant. I have just giving you the name of the companies and their address, because you should think that these are being carried out in India also. Even government is providing some initiative to the farmers for managing the agricultural waste in a proper way. So rice farmers should not burn the rice straw, they should convert the rice straw into the briquette. So there is a scheme of government also. Some farmers in a village wants to install a rice briquetting plant, government is giving 35% subsidy to that plant also. So the cost of one plant is about 10 lakh or 12 lakh rupees. So subsidy is also available from the government side, and some loans and some initiatives are also being provided by the governments for installing this or for establishing this rice straw briquetting plant. So you can see this is the briquette of rice. Briquette of rice straw. So what is the difference? Difference is that this collected and compressed form of the rice straw is a bales. When this bales is grinded in a mill, dried and converted into the compressed block, that is briquette. So this is the difference between rice bales and rice briquette. Here the volume is reduced. Now this briquette, either this briquette, because it is dried part, it is dry material, it is very good in burning, so this directly can be used in furnace or directly can be used in the factories or companies for burning. But if you want to store it, packing should be desirable. So these briquettes can be collected into a poly bag. This poly bag is sealed and it can be stored. Or these briquettes can be wrapped, or you can put these briquettes into the boxes, and a set of boxes can be wrapped. Or these briquettes directly can be heaped, and the whole one heap can be wrapped by the polythene sheet. So this is a wrapping machine. This wrapping machine can wrap it. When the wrapping machine will wrap it, so either you put this briquette into the poly bag or you wrap the briquette and store it after wrapping it. So what is the advantage of wrapping the briquette? See, I am saying you, first we grind it, dry it, then convert into the briquette. Means it is a dry material. If it is a dry material and if you want to store it in open, it will absorb the moisture from the atmosphere, and if our relative humidity is high, this briquette will absorb the moisture. If it is dry, so it is prone to absorb the moisture. We have converted the waste into briquette for burning, and if it will moist, the burning will be a problem. So packing in a poly bag or wrapping in a polythene sheet is desirable if we want to store it, and even it will facilitate the transportation also. So you can wrap it, store it, transport it. Then the factory where it is to be burned in the furnace, they will just remove the wrap and burn it. So the burning will not be a problem there in the factory. So this is the reason wrapping is very necessary, or wrapping is very advantageous. Now the briquette density, because this briquette actually different size of briquette can be prepared. It is not necessary that every time it will be, because in picture what I have shown, it is not necessary that every time it will be in this shape and size only. It may be of square shape, it may be of different size also. So it depends on your machine also, because here the machine which will from here briquette will come out. So you can cut your briquette at a larger length also. You can cut the briquette at a smaller length also. So the size, shape and size depends on your desire or your requirement. Even a square type briquette can also be manufactured. But it has a certain density. Why it has a density? I am telling you, it is being compressed. When it is being compressed, means a lot of material is being compressed to form a compact block. So the block, whether it is circular, cylindrical or cuboid, it has a weight. So weight per unit volume is density. So generally the density of the bracket lies between 800 kg per meter cube to 1200 kg per meter cube. So it depends on the material. If we are preparing bracket from sawdust, it has a larger density. If we are preparing from the sawdust mixed with wooden chip, it will have a lesser density. Again, the density depends on the machine or the braquetting process, that what type of pressure or how much pressure we are inserting in the machine for converting the waste to bracket. So depending on the pressure, the bracket density will differ. So bracket density may differ because of the raw material, one thing, and if the bracketing is prepared from one raw material, so on the basis of pressure putting in the bracketing machine, the bracket density may differ. So bracket density means weight per unit volume. Weight is taken in the kg, volume is in meter cube. So for example, in most of the agricultural waste, for example rice husk, rice straw, which is converted into bracket, it has the density from 1000 kg 1 meter cube to the 1400 kg per meter cube. So this is the difference. So what is the impact of this difference? If the density is less, your bracket will burn quickly. But if the density of the bracket is higher, so this bracket can burn slowly for a longer time. So this is the impact of bracket on the this is the impact of density on the bracket performance. So this way quality can also be, and both are the required. Some fast burning material is required, some slow burning material is required. Both are required. So this is the learning outcome from today's lecture, that we know that agricultural waste can also be converted into the bracket. Here we come to know that bracket can also be used as a biofuel. Bracketing can save our environment. How it can save our environment? If we don't do bracketing, farmer will burn the agricultural waste in open field and pollute the environment. Another thing, the factories are required to burn some fuel. If we don't supply bracket to that factories, they will be dependent on coal only, and they will mine the coal, and coal is the ore property of the country. So lot of the coal will be mined, so it will lose our property. So bracketing can be a new business model also for the youth. Some youths can engage themselves in the bracketing. They collect the agricultural waste from the farmers, convert it into the bracket and supply to the factories, and they can earn money also from the bracketing. So this is a reference that David Solano 2016, a biomass bracketing process. This is a guideline report from UNDP CEDRO publication from Lebanon. In this report, the whole bracketing process is being guided because it is a guideline. So this reference you can go through for the understanding of the bracketing. Thank you very much.